Welcome back to the Spirit of Watercolor. So glad to see you again. Linda here. And oh my, I've been away on a little vacation. It's that time of year, summer, to get out and get away and get refreshed. Took a departure since it was just a 3-day trip to Stratford Theatre Festival and all that. So I'm back to get into our watercolors now that it's kind of late summer, I'd call it. You know, we're still going to enjoy some hot summer days, but we are starting to approach autumn. And I always start to think about it, and I really have to work at, I love summer so much, and I love flowers, and I like heat up to a point. And yet, okay, so fall, so many people love, and it's so beautiful, and they enjoy it, and so I've been working on my love and enjoyment of it. I don't want to miss any season. Luckily, living where I do, you know, we get all the seasons, and you know, I think people live where they prefer seasons, or if you like all seasons, then you live where there's many seasons. So I'm picking out autumn colors from my Daniel Smith watercolors. And I may use one Da Vinci watercolor that's really beautiful. But what I want to do is also look at these Daniel Smith colors that we don't always use. We don't really know what they are. You know, many people just buy the basics, and I understand that. You can mix anything with the basic colors, right? The yellow, red, blue, and the earth tones, and maybe some darks, maybe some browns. But with Daniel Smith, you know, they have these incredible colors that you don't need to mix. I think some of these are pre-mixed. You know, there's more than one pigment in them, and they're just intense and beautiful that way. More so than if you mix them. So that's the plus that I want to point out. So I'm picking out, you know, some of their basic but beautiful colors here. So here are the pigments I chose that are beautiful, like nature itself, right? Yellow ochre is the first one, and it's very transparent in Daniel Smith paints, which is what I love about it. And then there is transparent red ochre, and this is a beautiful red brown. It's more red than brown, but it has that rusty, earthy tone to it. And then we have Italian burnt sienna, which I think is beautiful. It's much more orange than burnt sienna, which tends to be a brown, but it's a gorgeous earth tone as well. And then I have here quinacridone burnt orange, and doesn't that have a brown feel to it? But a lot of the quinacridones are earthy in nature and very transparent and vibrant. And then this alizarin gold from Da Vinci, I think, is a gorgeous color, and so you'll see me use these in our next piece. So by taking these Daniel Smith earth colors, the burnt sienna type colors, the yellow ochre, the red, and the Italian burnt sienna, which is the orange, I'm going to create a fall scene for you, and you can follow along and you can do it with me. It'll be loose like I do. I'm a much more loose watercolor painter, but we get detail with sponging, and some other non-brush techniques that you'll see. So if you've seen me in the past, you know how I do these things. I just wanted to start to approach, and this causes me to look forward to fall. So join me. I look forward to doing this at the table. It won't take us long. My watercolors that I do online or on YouTube tend to be a little faster for you, so you can get the gist of and try some of the techniques and try, but you know, they move quickly so we don't overwork and overlabor the work as well. So thank you for joining me today. I look forward. Please like and subscribe as you go along if you like this video, and keep coming back. And I always want to welcome you subscribers to keep coming back. It makes a difference for me too. We grow together, and we have this spiritual journey that we're on with our beautiful pigments of color. So I'll see you at the table. So I'm starting with the flat wash at the top using a mixture of my favorite blues, and you can do that too, keeping it kind of soft, and then I'll come in with another glaze over it. But I'm going to take my tissue here, my paper towel, excuse me, and we'll lift out and make our clouds. You'll probably see prior videos of mine and other artists doing that. It's very handy. And then we're going to go ahead and, just kind of soften it toward the bottom, toward the land. And then, we just kind of work on those clouds a little bit, softening them up. And then, as you'll see in a few minutes, I'll add a glaze of a darker color, actually putting a little purple into my blue, just to kind of give it a little more, just a more beautiful color. It's all a matter of choice there. And then I'm preparing my quinacridone burnt orange, and I'm going to bring it in as in the background as some trees back there. It's just a beautiful, like I said, brown orange color. It's just gorgeous, and I think it'll add something lovely in the back. It's a little wet up into the sky, and I didn't mind that, as the water kind of made some of the color spread upward and make a kind of almost, I want to say, a soft edge to the trees up there. I decided to lift out where the trees that I drew in the foreground are, so that it'll be lighter, so when I bring in my trunks, they're not, having to cover up some other colors. When I started this part of the video, my camera blurred because I think my head was trying to focus on, which keeps coming in and out. But I think you see here what we're doing, which is laying in the foreground with that beautiful Italian burnt sienna, which is a beautiful color for the foreground, a little warmer in tone than the background color. And I'm just going around where the trees are, and we'll just, continue here. And I'm just doing a soft wash here, because I'm going to lay in, some leaves in the foreground with the yellow ochre, and, these beautiful transparencies should lay over each other in a nice way. And then I've chosen this beautiful Prussian blue, which I've forgotten I even have in my palette. And it's a greenish blue. It's a deep, rich blue, aqua-ish in color, but darker a little than things like manganese blue hue. And just laying in some water back there, again, trying to avoid where the trees are going to go, even though they're going to be darker and, more pronounced, but we also want to make it easy to glaze through there. And, I may need to touch up and get closer because, my glasses broke that I normally use, so I'm, struggling to get up close there and paint where it's supposed to be painted, and I might have to come back in later after my glasses are fixed. Here I took a little cardstock and just put in some lines of waves there. While the paint's wet, it will, the color will sink into those little lines. And then I'm putting the trees in, and I mixed that beautiful Prussian blue of the water with the Italian burnt sienna and also the burnt orange, quinacridone burnt orange, so that I have some lovely dark trunk colors. And they vary. I'm going to vary the color of the different tree trunks because the trees are always a little different if you really look at them, right? And as you will see, I'm making them closer to the front, so they're thicker branches, and again, varying in color. And you'll probably notice if you go to the end of this clip that I forgot to put one of them in, but I will do that. Okay, so the painting is dry. I did have to add a tree. I think I forgot to put it in, so I put that in, and I'm going to go to my colors. And as you know, we have the yellow ochre. These are our muted earthy tones, right? Our red oxide and the burnt orange, and trying to remember what the other one was called. Anyway, they're all earthy and beautiful and golden. And then we're going to take our sponges. Okay, we've got these, they create shapes, but you can use to create and, put them into this here. And okay, so I started with the yellow ochre, and I forgot to wet the paper first with my mop brush, and I just kind of patted in some dampness into the top so that when I do press the sponge on, it will, not just be these sharp little lines, but little marks, but they soften as they touch the paper. And so we get the yellow ochre going on the left, and then I go in, actually it looks like I tried some of that beautiful red up there, the Alizarin Crimson Gold, I think it's called, by Winsor and Newton. And I'm coming in with some of the other beautiful colors now. There's the red oxide, transparent red oxide, which is lovely, and the Italian burnt sienna is a more orangey color, and they're all earthy, so you may not see a huge transformation, but that's how I feel nature is. There's some of the earthy colors are more orangey, some are more gold, some are more toward the brown, like the quinacridone burnt orange. Actually looks more brown than the Italian sienna one. So here I really like how it ended up, and I did add a little more sponging and a little dark shadow under the background land, and I think it feels almost finished, if not finished. I like the beachy feel of the front, where it's just soft colors of earth tones, but you could add in a lot more grasses and rocks and whatever in the foreground. I just thought we might leave it at this. And also I did put the branches in there. I filled in some branches at the top just to connect all the leaves with the trees. And I hope you like this, and this is just a mat on it just to show that it could be finished. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want more on the ground at the bottom for interest's sake, or another tree or whatever. But like I say, this was just how to approach those beautiful earth colors and to use them in a painting that feels like a happy autumn piece you could put up and just remember how beautiful the fall can be. And thank you again for joining me at the Spirit of Watercolor, where we learn and grow together and enjoy this beautiful medium and all that it does for us. See you at the next video.